Hi everyone, this is the Eclectic Neophyte. My name is Vern. Sometime back, Tom Lipton of Ox Tools put out a YouTube video showing how one could take some 6-inch cast iron rounds available from McMaster-Carr and produce lapping plates, very precision flat lapping blocks. And so I emailed Tom because I was interested in producing a set of my own. He had also in that video presented some ideas on how to cut the lines in the blocks or the grooves. And so I talked about a couple of ideas I had about perhaps something a homeowner or a hobbyist could do in his home shop to cut very straight lines. So today's video is basically just that. It's how I produced, took a block, more or less just like this, and just faced it off as Tom did in his video, and then cut a set of grooves so that it looked very much like this. And so I actually have 3 discs that I've cut grooves in. One is square pattern like this, and the other is diamond shaped. But so let's get on with it, and I'll show you how I produced those. I basically cut those grooves in the cast iron blocks using one of these blades. It's a Lenox 1000 plus or 1000 cuts plus, whatever. It has a bunch of industrial diamonds around the outside of the blade, and I'm not sure if those will show up, but if you can see them, they're essentially impregnated in the edge of the blade. And what I did was I mounted this on a sliding compound miter saw, and the slides on the saw allowed me to cut very straight lines. So once the plate is mounted in a fixture, or in my case just a board that holds the cast iron round in place, I can then cut a groove, move the board over, or move the piece over apart, and I basically moved it a ½ inch for each cut, and then rotate the blade 90 degrees and rinse and repeat. Okay, what I've got here is a piece of this is just particle board. It's covered with this vinyl material. Anyway, and I've got a approximately 6-inch hole cut to so that I can mount these cast iron blanks or discs. And these are just a couple of they're actually chunks of aluminum angle, and see if I've got a chunk of it up here that I can show you somewhere up here in my rack of stuff. Well, it's just aluminum angle. It's bigger than this stuff here, but same idea. All I did was cut a couple of short sections and shape them so I can drive them down in here. And what that does is it stabilizes the cast iron. And then what I do is I'll take this whole piece over onto my sliding miter saw, and I've got a diamond saw blade. It's 1000 plus cuts, and that I can use to then cut grooves into the cast iron. So I'll get set up over there, and I'll show you how I'm doing this. So here's my sliding miter saw, and as you can see, it's got, I think anyway, you can see that. It's one of these diamond tipped blades, and And I've got that set up so that I can use this back inch scale on the back fence of the miter saw. Sorry about all the shaking, but that's it's kind of what happens when you got what they call an essential trimmer. Anyway, so I'm going to set this up if I can so that you can get kind of a first-hand view of what I'm doing. And I apologize because it's not going to be the greatest. If I can turn this. I just got this on the tailgate of my truck. See how that looks. Well, it's not the greatest, but I think you'll get the idea. So what I do is I have marks back here on the back of this chunk of it's just plain old bookshelf material. And sorry folks, it's rather cold outside, and I'm trying to get this done as quickly as I can. But basically, I just line up the saw blade with the edge of the, get this unlocked first, slide, so that it's approximately a ½ inch from the edge of the disc, and that'll start my first cut. And I have a mark here at 9 inches. What I'll do is I'll make a cut, slide that over a ½ inch, make a cut, and so on and so forth. And then once I've done that, I'll pull this out, pull these shims, and I'll rotate the plate 90 degrees and do it all over again. So let's get started. It's going to be rather loud. Okay, there's the first cut. Slide it over ½ inch. Second cut, ½ inch. First time I tried to do this, I didn't have these shims in place, and the plate really wanted to twist, and it's just from the resistance of the blade going through the cast iron. But the lines are all very evenly spaced. So what I'll do is pull these shims, rotate this 180, or excuse me, 90, drive the wedges back in, do it all over again. There we are, all done. That's ready for lapping.